take comfort in the bonds you share. Accept the pain when the time comes to part. Press on, for joy and sorrow walk hand in hand. Beyond Mount Garrick lie the hills of Amber, beneath which run hidden veins of mineral wealth. Or ran, at least. Mayhap they are spent. Or mayhap the ringing of hammers can yet be heard below.
This place reminds me of Thanalan.
Yeah.
The whole mines and the deserts.
And the other side we came from had Sook and all. So I think
had
so.
what?
The Sook?
Oh yeah, the circular city. This has been scarred by the flood too. Who can say what lies ahead? But whatever this road may be, it is mine to travel, and I don't plan to take a moment of time I spend upon it for granted. I take it you're seeing what I'm seeing. A village. Finding a village when we're hardly 10 paces into the hills is a surprising stroke of luck, especially given our recent fortunes. But you won't hear any complaints from me. Let's see if the folk who live here can tell us what to expect from the road ahead.
I mean, they look different in like most of the equivalents.
You sell? No. No, you are no merchant. But then, why do I know your face? Oh, I remember. You spent Volbert gold. Wow, news travels fast. Such a coin purse cracking. You are already a legend among more traders. You're a traveling merchant then. Can you tell us of anything of this village? Of course, anything for valued customers. This place is Garrick. Before the flood, it was home to many miners. After, not so many. Now, none. So Master Gengen borrowed the village, made it into a trading post. Very convenient location. In which case, you must all be familiar with the local roads, correct? We're on our way to Nabatharang ourselves. If we continue south from here, will we have any difficulties reaching it? Oh yes, great difficulty. A flood rent the stone and crushed the mines surrounding Nabatharang. Only steep cliffs and collapsed tunnels remain. Oh no. But surely there must be some way. Do you think any of the other Morn might have some sort of hidden route? Perhaps. You ask, they tell. Tell for free even. 2 friends of our best customer. Well, that's fortunate. Wonderful. I thank you for your help. You're welcome. Well then, best customer. Let's see what information your reputation buys us. Well, alright, as long as no one's making me do tribal quests in the middle of a story. You wish to go to Nabatharang? There was a way once, a gondola down the cliffs, but it was built for those who had nothing left, who had left something behind that they wished to retrieve. Now there's nothing left, and no one used it. You may search for it if you like. I doubt its rusted wires would bear your weight. Easily take down a memo regarding the gondola and a spare scrap of parchment. For now at Terrain, airship is best. Nothing is faster than an airship. The Eulmorans have one, I hear. You can ask them to take you. Though it seems somewhat superfluous to do so, you dutifully make note of Gongon's words. Oh, that is a surprise. Not many bound for Nabatharang these days. I do know of a trolley that once went there. It used to travel between all the settlements and mines of the Hills of Amber. It is locked behind a gate, however. I assume that will have kept it from being stolen or damaged, but also prevents it from being much use. Do take down the information regarding the trolley on a wrinkled piece of parchment before stuffing it unceremoniously back into your bag. Ah, Green. I'm afraid I've learned a little use about how to reach Navatharang. Eulmore's presence, though, that's another matter. Apparently, though their army is definitely in Amarang, there have been no sightings of Eulmores at all in the Hills of Amber. Perhaps we can take that as a sign that Alice's plan has borne fruit. Do you have any better luck finding us a route forward? So these are our options. So what do you think? We could try the gondola. Might die, but
I love that. I didn't choose it though.
yeah, I'm just gonna choose the trolley option. You know what? No, I'm just gonna go through all of them. We'll probably send me back to this menu. We try the gondola. Might die, but I'd rather not if it's all the same to you. If it went poorly, we couldn't simply wave our hands and vanish into the ether like your Stola. Not that I would recommend it, even if we could. You end up naked. Don't get an airship anywhere? Not from Vauthry, obviously. We could perhaps use Amaro, but even from a distance, I can't imagine the Eulmoran army wouldn't spot us if we were to travel by air. Gate aside, a trolley seems most feasible. It does seem to be the least risky of our options. I can't imagine one gate is enough to thwart you. I'd like to know a bit more before we dash off in search of it, though. Perhaps Zun can offer some insight. Oh, there are you customers. Were the other more of help? Of a fashion. They told us of a trolley that runs to Navatharang, at least. But am I correct in thinking that there was a reason you did not do so yourself when first we asked? Yes, the gate you see, it is impassable. Before, there was a hulking thing of stone, the Talos. It opened the gate, they say. But none operate such a thing now. I do not even know if it yet exists. Well, there's one in Colusia. And we saw one in the intro cutscene when we entered Amarang. Well, from this side, anyway. I do not know, but we should travel east to Mount Biran Mines. That is where the trolley controls stand. I still see miners there from time to time. If anyone knows what happened to the Talos, it would be them. Thank you, you've been a great help. We're out to Mount Biran then. Let's hope that someone will be there to answer our questions. The scale of the track is impressive, I'll give them that. Now we only need to follow it until we come to the mines. Bit of a mess, isn't it? But the mechanism for dispatching the trolley are here, just as Zun said. Unfortunately, anyone who might know how to use them is not. We might wait for Zun's mysterious miners to appear, or we'll have a look around and see if we can deduce anything useful in their absence. I'm in favor of the latter. Something near the entrance to the mines proper caught Urianje's eye. Meet us there if you find anything. Ah, Green. What hast thou discerned? That there was someone here until recently. I see. Indeed, thine observations are consistent with mine own. But let us refrain from further discussion ere our comrades arrive. Oh, those typical JRPG random encounters. Ample evidence of recent maintenance, and lukewarm tea besides. The levels of switching tracks looked like they were in good condition. Though I couldn't move them myself, no ordinary person could, I think. It is my belief that no person is meant to. This Talos beareth more than a passing resemblance to golems of the source. Nor doth it appear to be the sole example of its kind. The proliferation of Talos fragments, as well as the enormity of the mechanisms here, suggest a considerable number were once in operation. Alas, this specimen and its fellow now lie lifeless and broken, and I know not how to repair them that they might facilitate our passage through the gate. And without the aid of the Talos, even if thou wast somehow able to unbar the trolley's path, you'll still have no means of propelling it. We might not know how to repair the Talos, but someone must. Otherwise, why keep everything else in working order? Whoever is maintaining the cars and rails must know something that we don't. Let's ask them what it is, shall we? Green, I do believe you'll find a person of some interest skulking the shadows behind the warehouses on the northwestern side of the tracks. While you two have a friendly chat, the rest of us will gently encourage those to the south to come out of hiding. Defend yourselves as necessary, of course, but do try to keep everyone in one piece. Off we go then. Yep, just approach with weapons. That'll be a perfectly diplomatic approach. Good to hear. These two won't much trouble either. Let's see what they have to say for themselves. Us? What are the brigands come to? To take what isn't ours? Do we honestly look like we need to steal... what? Some rusted bits of iron? Don't be absurd, we're not here to rob you. A likely story, you look, well, like a bandit. You don't look normal, that's for certain. You don't have any wares, so you're clearly not merchants. Travelers never pass this way. The only reason you could come all the way out here is to strip the machinery for parts. Oh, Thaf, I have an idea. What if, once upon a time, a lovely lady of noble birth ventured forth in search of her lost love, joined by her two most loyal servants, sworn to follow her unto world's end. On the journey they met a sorcerer as ancient as time itself. Moved by the lady's devotion, he offered to be their guide, and well, this one just likes to make fanfics. Turned up here somehow. I can only assume that you're being intentionally obtuse, but in an unlikely event that's a serious conjecture, no. I am a bodyguard of a sort, but we have rather larger concerns than fairy tale romances. Although I would fain hear more of this ageless sorcerer and his heroic deeds. Gods grant me strength. If I may, we're actually searching for a means by which to travel to Nabatharang. We were hoping the trolley here might offer a solution. I realize that we haven't gotten off to the best of starts, but if you know anything about how we might get it working again... A trolley? A trolley? You should have led with that. We're always keen to discuss the trolley. We're both engineers in training, in fact. Jerk and Thaf at your service. Jarek, not Jerk. Technically, I'm a miner, and he does repair work, but our true passion is a trolley. We're working with a few other folks to get it up and running again. And before you ask, yes, it's true that there is a little in need of transport these days. But that's no reason to consign a miracle of mechanical innovation to dust. The mere sight of it traveling the track once again would make hearts sore. Mark my words. The Trolley Brothers. Yep. You'll hear no argument from us. What progress have you made thus far? Is a progress 0? Not as much as we'd like, truth be told. Well, is there anything we can do to assist you? You can gather materials, or help put pieces together, or pull that ridiculously heavy lever to actually get to the trolley? It's a sight more complicated than that, I'm afraid. If you spoke with Magnus, you'd understand. He's the only one with a full knowledge of the trolley's operation. I suppose you could speak with him if you'd like. We'll introduce you. Very well, options are limited, and if this Magnus can explain whatever is preventing the trolley from being restored, I'd like to hear it. Right, looks like you'll be following us back to Twine then.
So is this quest line, does it count as a trolley problem?
Yes. There is a problem, and there's a trolley involved. I think Urianger a little bit too into his role. If you're ready, we can leave right now. Although, you haven't seen another fellow around you, have you? Thought he'd come out by now. We kinda need him up. You think he'll be alright? Well, that's, well, I suppose we did force your hand a bit. I'll have a look just in case. You go on ahead, Thaf. Alright, so it'll be just you lot and me then. Try not to let anything take a bite out of you on the way to the rail yard. Damn that smarts. You have to stop me so hard. I'm feeling down for the next fortnight at least. Not to be done about it now though. I pointed your over-eager companions in the right direction and they've gone ahead. So we need to get moving. Normally we walk atop the tracks, but seeing as the young lady has a much shorter stride, that's a more perilous route than I'm comfortable suggesting. Wouldn't want anyone falling through the gaps. Of course, the low road represents other dangers, but having been on the receiving end of your friend's blows, I'm not worried on that account. Wait a moment. Did I hear something? Oh, that's something, alright. Run! Sorry about that, I'll admit. Didn't expect this route to be quite so fraught with danger. We're nearly to Twine though, so we should make it without further incident. Meanwhile, there's an incident behind me. This is it. Welcome to Twine. Original dwellings were built to house the laborers tasked with building the track. Over time, miners came to seek their fortunes, and that's what made the town grow to see what you see before you today. But it was still the trolley that brought them here. As you doubtless noticed, the track goes to the very heart of the town. It was the heart of the town, back when the trolley still carried everyone home at the end of each hard day in the mines. For some reason, I want to sing monorail, but with trolley. No?
Monorail!
Yeah, exactly.
Monorail!
Monorail!
I don't remember this whole song.
And it's only like 6 verses.
I don't remember anything else from the song. I just remember the basic plot of that episode.
Okay. Now there is no trolley, nor much work to be had in the mines for that matter. The only residents that remain are the destitute, the delusional, and those with nowhere else to go, or so they say. That should give you some indication of what to expect when you meet Magnus. As I said, we'll help you understand why we can't get the trolley running. Just don't expect too much aside from that. You know what you're seeing about that Simpsons episode where with the monorail, where the town comes together, tries to fix the main street, but then they instead decide to put the money towards a monorail because some guy came up and gave a really convincing musical number. Well, that's encouraging, but I don't see that we have much choice. Let's go and meet the man. What are you supposed to be? Never seen a 3v a lot in my life. Or the 4 of you? Wicked White, if you're gonna bother me, at least have the damn courtesy to stand still. Me think this one is deep in his cups. These are my guests, Magnus. We ran into them at the mines. They're looking for a way to reach the Nabatharang, so they came to ask about the trolley, you see. What? There's nothing in Nabatharang. Not anymore. Man is so lost in the sauce, you're gonna need a search and rescue team. Oh no. Especially not for frail little girls. Give it up. No, we must reach Nabatharang. I must. Bah! So you have your heart set on it. The world doesn't care. The place is a ruin, nothing more. You're not getting there in the trolley. The thing doesn't run on hopes and dreams. We're not fools. It's necessity that drives us to Nabatharang. If you insist that the trolley is not an option, at least tell us why. No, I'm sick of people asking me about the blasted thing. Leave me be. We'll speak outside. It's a problem that they don't have active taluses, because I feel like we already gleaned that information. You only say that because he thinks I'm weak. And he's right. But I can't be. I won't be forever. There has to be some way. I must find it. Oh, I'm sorry. I was stuck in my own head again. It's clear that Magnus has no intention of helping us, but perhaps we should ask the other residents? They may know something of the trolley. I'll take the north side of town. Let me know if you learn anything. Thancred, art thou truly content to stand witness to fate's course and take no part? This isn't a matter of fate, Urianger, it's about choice, and I've had years to decide where I stand. Minfilia has spent too long in chains already. I would not shackle her again by making my hopes known. It is for her to choose what she shape her destiny will take. It is for me to stay silent, to protect her, teach her, and stand by her. That at least I can do for her. So be it. Come, let us make our own inquiries. Oh, there you are. You'll be pleased to know that I got it from a friend back home with no trouble, and he's just fine. It's a bit shaken up, that's all. What of you? What did Magnus have to say? He told us to piss off, and then went back to his drink. Ah, I did have a faint hope that your need might prompt into action where our interest has not, but I suppose that was foolish of me. I'm sorry that we couldn't be of help, though. Could at least show you the trolley car we have here if you'd like. Could give it a stroke or two. It has some very smooth wood. Phrasing. You mean to say you're not giving up, even knowing that Magnus is... Magnus? I don't see much point in your being stubborn about it, though... Perhaps stubbornness is exactly what the situation calls for. Can't forge iron without an anvil, after all. Call me an anvil. Can't imagine that anything you try will work, but if you're certain, you can help me make preparations in the event that it does. To that end, take this toolbox. We're going to inspect the rails. I'll have a look among the tracks or anything that's in need of repair. You bring the tools, and be ready to hand it to me whenever I stop to work. Key items. 2 large toolbox. No one could ever possibly need these many tools, let alone carry them all on their person at one time. You open the box, revealing the proud array of lovingly maintained tools within. Brilliant! Now, if you could just hand me what I need as I work, that would be a help. In this case, well, this bolt is loose for one matter. We can't have that. Only tighten it. Which tool you provide? A vicious-looking saw, a ragged cloth, mid-size wrench. Thank you. This one will do nicely. Now, give me one moment and... Yeah, I don't see any other problems here, so let's continue along the track. You set down a toolbox, the muscles of your arms enjoying profound relief, and open it once again. You're quite handy to have around, you know? Just walking around doing things is kind of my job. As to the lamp here, these aren't often necessary these days. Yeah, I can see why. But if we're going to do this, we might as well do it properly. And if by some miracle the night returns that it did in Lakeland, well, it's a nice thought. Anyhow, this bit of post seems to have splintered. Whether its lamp is to be lit or not, we wouldn't want these little pieces of wood jabbing the next person who comes through here to do maintenance. Only to sand it down a bit. Which tool will you provide? A bulky saw, a heavy hammer, a rough file. Yes, a wood file's perfect. Let me even this out. Is this knowledge going to be important to us later, or...
Dunno.
I should do it. I'll bring some varnish along next time to finish the job. I haven't spotted any other problems, so we can move along now. Unless if you'd like to take in view of the tracks from here a bit longer. It's breathtaking, I know. Mining has always been the primary vocation of folks in the Hills of Amber, you see. But after a certain point, they had dug up everything that could easily be reached and carried back by manpower alone. It was then that the Nabath Empire struck upon the idea of the Talos, which they had seen at work abroad. At great expense, the Nabath brought the Mistel engineers who specialized in Talos here to the hills. And wouldn't you know it, the mining industry picked right up again. Twine itself sprung around at that time, as a matter of fact. It was named after the entwining of tales, a fruitful cooperation between the native Ronso and the newly come Mistel. But that, like so much else, fell apart in the wake of the flood. The Mistel left, taking their knowledge with them. It was 15 years ago that the last of them, the folks from Daedalus Stoneworks, took off for Eulmore. Now no one remains that can repair and operate the Talos. There's no use in lamenting what can't be changed, and there's one more thing we need to do while we're out here, so we might as well get to it. Vultures occasionally make their nests on the tracks, you see, and it falls to us to remove them when they do. These creatures are angry when disturbed, which is natural, but nevertheless a danger to anyone passing by. Not my favorable task, to be honest with you, as you may have noticed. I'm not terribly suited to confrontation. That said, would you follow the tracks north and remove any nests you find for me? I'll keep an eye on things from here. Thank you. That should be everything taken care of. In return for your help, I'll tell you a bit more about the trolley. Nothing that can get it started again, though. As I said, the only people who knew how to repair the Talos are long gone. When they left, the light began to bleed out of the town. The trolley's tracks rusted, the cars fell into disrepair. Now, I was born in Twine, raised there. My first word is trolley, damn it! And those are the worst years of my life. Then about 7 years passed, Magnus and his wife returned to us. Magnus is a real, proper trolley engineer. Thus he would never have left in the first place if it hadn't been for his son. As you're well aware, Amarang is hardly the safest place, and Magnus wanted his child to grow up away from its dangers. Didn't help in the end. Sin Eaters got the boy. Isn't that always the way? The child had always said that someday he wanted to see Magnus's trolley running again. So in his memory, they returned to Twine, started fixing the rusted rails and broken cars, and was going well for a time. Wicked white vultures! Are they back for revenge? Never mind, I don't want to find out. Nice work out there. And now you know the story of the trolley. Won't do you too much good without the Talos, though. There was even a single one that still functioned. Things might be different, but, well, here we are. Not that it'll do you any good, but we do have a Talos we've been meaning to repair. I can show you if you'd like. It'd certainly be nice to hear something other than Magnus's griping for a change. Truly a most vexing state of affairs. I thought mayhap a closer examination might yield something of value. So did you learn anything from it? I see. The means to build Talos stone by stone are lost to us, 'tis true, but here before us slumbers a most fine specimen. Indeed, were it not for a few minor failings, it would be in working condition. Will likely require not but a few modest repairs and a suffusion of aether. Well, if you think you can get the thing up and running, far be it from me to stop you, but what exactly do you reckon is a problem? I should stress that I am performing the most cursory of examinations, though such arcane constructs are not wholly unfamiliar to me. As I did suspect from the first, it is host to a network of veins through which ether floweth freely. Or so it would, were it not for several fractures which now impede said flow. How the hell did you get all that from just a glance? I think if you thought up a solution as well then. To bridge these fissures requires a material highly conductive to ether. Once in place, I believe it will be possible to restore the Talos to life. Might I prevail upon thee to acquire that which we require? Not far beyond the walls of Twine dwelleth the creature living stone, the Debitage. Full sure am I that stone from such a being would prove most suitable to our needs. Very good. I shall have Thancred and Minfilia attend me in the remaining preparations. I spy but 3 obstructions to the flow of ether in the Talos, and thus I would ask you to provide 3 stones at the Debitage. All else will be made ready upon thy return. Thancred and Minfilia will return ere long with those remaining supplies we require. This thou succeed in procuring stone from the Debitage. Chunk of rock taken from a Debitage. Fine specimens, one and all. You have my thanks. We need now but wait for Thancred and Minfilia's return. So what did he send you two out to get? From end to end, the paths by which aether may flow through the Talos have been duly mended. They but require a sufficient endowment. It's not moving. Strange. The core refuses to stir. I fear the condition of this Talos is more dire than I previously surmised. As a heart draveth blood through a man's veins, so doth the core aether throughout this massive frame. Failing its repair or replacement, a Talos cannot be restored. So it was a heart after all. This now does foresee this outcome. Well, no, not exactly. We never gotten this far and tried to repair it, so we had no way of knowing the heart was a real problem. Tried to find another in case things turned out as they are now, but... Jarek? This isn't really my story to share. Please, Jarek, if something went wrong, maybe we can help. Alright. After your lot have done for me, it's supposed to the least I can do. Right then, the Talos, their hearts cannot be made of just any stone. You need a special sort with sufficient ethereal conductivity. Both it and the other materials used in the construction of Talos bodies are mined in the same place. That place, of course, being here, the Hills of Amber. It was 3 years ago when she... No, I can't. I'm sorry, but you'll have to hear it from Thaf or someone else. Back to the tavern, then. So yeah, eh? You can ask again, but the answer is the same. Our trolleys are... What? God damn it, Jarek. You could have at least finished so I wouldn't have to clean up your other mess. Seeing how you made such quick progress in fixing that Talos and all, he was probably thinking he could help change things around here. I think he may be right. Gather your friends and I'll tell you what you want to know.
Magnus's wife was a miner, you know. Greatest prospector there ever was. When the golem heart started failing, she was the first to head out in search of more. Problem was, most of the veins ran dry ages ago, and finding fresh ones to tap's only gotten harder. But she wasn't one to be deterred. She just kept digging deeper and deeper. And then the mine collapsed. We labored day and night to clear away the rubble, but it took us 2 months to find her. To find her body. Magnus has never been the same since.
Where is he, if you don't mind my asking?
Ah, yes, well, if he's not here, there's only one other place he'd be.
What? Oh, you again. How many times must I tell you? The trolley won't run! We'd be better off dismantling the damn thing and selling the parts for scrap. Now, piss off back to wherever you came from. And don't let me catch you around here again.
What were their names?
My son was named Skuli. My wife, Agna. here with them, it beats going home. Home stopped being home when I lost them. I thought to try and drown my sorrows, but somehow the bottle's never deep enough.
No bottle is. Believe me, I know.
You've lost someone too?
Not like you. Not my own flesh and blood. I grew up an orphan, so I never really knew what family meant. Not until I met a man who offered to take me in and make me his pupil. He was a kindly soul, always looking out for me, like a father. Not that I appreciated that at the time, or anything else for that matter. But I finally had a family. And then I robbed a young girl of hers. I did my best to make amends, to offer her comfort. But the more I look back on it, the more I realize just how inadequate my efforts were. I let her down. That is why I refuse to let her legacy die. In the end, all we can do is press on, for those we have lost, for those we can yet save. And that requires your Talos. Please, Magnus. You are our only hope of reaching Vauthry.
What rubbish.
She's not gone. No matter what you say or believe, she's not. We can still bring her back.